I knew I was going to do good, but I didn't think I'd do quite this good this early on.
Midwest bull ring racetracks are a long way from Jason's hometown, Long Beach, California. He got here with help from some of the biggest names in racing.
Well, Jason, he's been a good friend of ours for a long time. I mean, he came to us, I think he was probably about 10 years old, 11 years old, and he was racing quarter midgets. He started hanging around the shop, and when Paige and I was racing, actually I was just racing the midget then, and Paige was racing TQ, and he started helping. He'd come down the shop as soon as he got out of school every day and start working on the cars.
My dad's good friend Larry Howard, who was one of the top midget owners at the time, he wanted to help me out when I was a kid, when I first started racing, so he was crew chief on Paige Jones' car, and he invited me to come down the shop and help out, and I think basically help wash his trailer or something at the time, but it just kind of evolved from there. And
he knew more than most of the guys that were helping us. When he was 10, 13, 14 years old, I mean, I used to have to go pick him up at his house to help bring him to the shop to help him, to have him help us out. But I mean, he was, he could assemble the whole front ends, the rear ends. I mean, he could put the engine in for you. I mean, he just did a lot of things that were pretty impressive for his age.
And look at PJ. Oh man, right up over the berm, right past. Oh, PJ and Swift get together. He really looks like he doesn't care. He's going to go for it and begin his way. Look out there. Oh, he's on the sills. He got in the sills.
Working on PJ's midget, Jason got a lot of opportunity to fix bent parts in the shop and deal with bent out of shape fans in the stands.
It stuck up for him a lot in the stands, and heard a lot of bad, fans getting mad and yelling at PJ. But PJ was basically a troublemaker. Paige, he kind of tried to make up for it. He was really nice, and nice to all the fans, and went out of his way just to be kind to everybody.
After cutting his teeth in quarter midgets on pavement, Jason made the tough jump to a full-blown midget on dirt.
It took me a while to get used to the dirt deal. Plus I put a lot of pressure on myself. I had a real good race car when I started. Paige, I think, won 5 or 6 shows the year before with it. And I used to see him like a Ventura running all 4 wheels above the cushion, so I figured, there's no reason why I can't, and I'd go up there and, 2 or 3 laps into it, I ended up dumping it.
Wild ride, Jason Leffler. I'll tell you what, 18-year-old enthusiasm, but that thing bit you big. What happened?
I was going good, and then I went in a little too hard and bit me.
It was a big learning curve, but lately here we've progressed.
His driving in the last 2 years has really come along, and I think that he's going to be the guy, winning the championships, and pretty soon I bet you somebody picks him up for an IRL ride.
I like the IRL, and I also like, the opportunity that the NASCAR Super Trucks, put forth, and I don't know what the future holds for me. There's really nothing. We haven't talked to anybody about anything in particular, but I'd like to hope maybe one day I can make a pretty good living and just have fun racing.